Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro Wheelbase and Precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to the Late Apex Racing's new show for the latest which has happened in the world of sim racing over the past 7 days. And of course, with the Sim Racing Expo taking place last weekend, we have got a lot to discuss. So much to discuss, in fact, there may be a few elements that we will miss because it is a packed week this week. And myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and David Sampson will do our best at trying to get through it all. David, we always enjoy weeks like this. It does take a bit longer to get through the notes, but it is worth it. And yeah, should be an exciting week.
Yeah, for sure. This is always good. Yeah, it's yin and yang, right? Less work for us to do beforehand because it's easy, but now more to talk about. I like it this way.
Yeah. I certainly prefer this balance. Well, in that case, let's talk about our title for this episode. Actually, before I say that, I should say that this episode is presented by Apex Racing Academy, and a big thanks to them, of course. If you want to get faster on iRacing, Apex Racing Academy is the place to head over to apexracingac.com, where you can get data packs for many, many different cars on the service. But let's talk about AC EVO. We have got further details. Now, this was available to play not at an exclusive stall, but at several different hardware places at the Sim Racing Expo. And so it was drivable, and we got a few more hints. And I think the perception has been overwhelmingly positive because we're still piecing together what this game is. And I think, at least from what I've seen, I think most people are pleased by what they saw.
Yeah, from everything I've seen, and it's everything. I've tried to watch every creator I could. It looks good. I mean, it was drivable at the Expo. People were in it. People were using it. I didn't see any crashes, like as in game crashes. But we would expect them having a lot of history of this with AC and ACC. It's not. This isn't their first foray into the fold. So it did look good. Graphics were. I don't know if they were dialed up to 11 and they gave everyone 4090s as a gift. I don't know, but it did look spectacular. The rain, the atmospheric effects is what I'm going to call it. Just, you know, if you drop that on any game, you're like, whoa. It's almost like there's always something to travel through. You're not just traveling through empty space. You are traveling through something natural. And it did look stunning. Sound was difficult because a lot of creators were using their own mics and they were picking up audio like it wasn't like we had native access to the sim for recordings.
But of all the things for us to be confident about them nailing, the sound is the thing that
It did.
they will probably.
From what I heard, it did
do
sound good, yeah. And rain looked convincing. I saw a few people crash touching the curb. That's a promising sign. It's not ACC rain. It looks like it's iRacing. Obviously, we need to see how well it's implemented to call it iRacing rain. But it does look good. I watched intently the driving. That's what I wanted to focus on. Slip angles and the whole lot, grip, front, rear, blah, blah, blah. It does look... it looks like they've chose the AC route, which is brilliant, not the ACC. Just from the curb contacts, the slip angle is higher than we're used to in iRacing. I think that's unanimous, right?
Higher than iRacing.
Yeah, everything seems to have a very similar slip angle. Some are higher. iRacing's just a lot lower. But it did look good. I saw Jardier in the rain catch a big slide, and from his action on the wheel, you couldn't, like in iRacing, you can't catch it in the dry, let alone in the wet. So it looked good. Then we've heard so much from Daily Racing. Obviously, the way they worded that sounds Gran Turismo, which I can never insult because I have been calling for Gran Turismo on a PC. So for me to insult it would be so poor.
Is it not similar to LMU as well in terms of daily?
Yeah, but the way the term Daily Racing, it just reminds me of like the Gran Turismo where you pick the 3 races that you're going to do today and they change once a week. So it's similar. Let's see. I don't know. But on that front, they did announce not only a SimGrid partnership, but open to these type of partnerships going forward for... He worded it, never leave AC Evo. He doesn't want you to go off to our website.
Sure.
Register, come back to the sim. Like, he wants third parties, but they don't want that broken experience where you're flopping between browsers, which I never had a problem with, but I can get it. People want that full
all-encompassing sort of UI.
Yeah, so SimGrid seem very excited, like something they've been working on for a while. That was the expression you get on Twitter. It was almost like, finally we can talk about this, like something we've been working on. Obviously I would love to see low fuel motorsports because of the iRacing background, but I could get it. SimGrid's huge. Let's see if it's financially viable for low fuel motorsports. They have this huge... For them to leave ACC is like to go down a road that maybe ends them, right? You know what I mean? Like to turn their attention away.
I mean, hopefully, of course, one would assume they already have decent relations with Kunos, who will because of the ACC, the amount of stuff that they've done ACC. Obviously, a lot of that is as a third party and sort of just using the service. But yeah, you would think that the developers would be willing to integrate them into the platform.
Yeah, let's see. SimGrid's obviously huge. It works across all sims. Like I've done iRacing events through SimGrid. Like a low fuel motorsports. When I think of that, I only really think of ACC. Sure. I know they've done AC and a few other things. So let's see. But yeah, the free roaming was announced. I think I heard generative AI and stuff. So
okay, I didn't hear about that. I mean, like from the most of what I'm getting from is from Traction and the podcast that they had with Marco Mazzaruto, who also discusses, who's like one of the top guys over at Assetto Corsa, and they discussed as well as Assetto Corsa EVO, but also Assetto Corsa Competizione as well. And yeah, he confirmed after there sort of being a few sort of teasers. I think there was like a Morgan 3-wheeler on like an open road, and people were like, what's this? And then he was able to confirm, yes, there will be open world driving, which is very rare for a driving sim. I was looking at it, and yeah, Traction was saying that pretty much the only open world driving sim is Truck Sim. Besides that, obviously Assetto Corsa does have open world stuff, but it's all modded. It's not part of the base game. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, what was this generative AI? Because that seems to make the most sense. You think the amount of development that needs to go into
correct.
Something like
I assume they're going to do key niche areas, but then it'll be a case of open world where I don't know. It was a passing comment.
Seems like I've seen, will it be like Flight Sim, where it's like you got these vast areas?
Oh, but not really, not IRL created. No way, it couldn't be.
No, I don't.
That alone would be a bigger budget than everything else they're doing.
Well, yeah, that would be 2 games worth of developers in order to do that one feature.
Yeah, exactly. And we're pronouncing it wrong.
Oh,
EVO.
EVO, is it?
It's an Italian word. that means let me look.
Assetto Corsa Evo. Okay. But
I'll
yes,
get
that free roaming was confirmed. There will be 20 cars in the initial release. So the initial release will be in early access, but 20 cars and 5 circuits included. Obviously, they mention that with further builds that they will increase that roster. And also one of the other elements that they mentioned was modding, which is very cool. And modding will be a bit different compared to what we see in Assetto Corsa, because it will need to be approved by AC EVO in order for it to be purchasable and to be usable. And they will be working with manufacturers and track people to decide, well, does this break any licenses? Which obviously it will do. If you create an Aston Martin and you don't have an Aston Martin license, you're not allowed to use it in the game. What was the EVO thing? Sorry,
I can't remember. I couldn't find it.
Okay, sure.
Apparently it translates to the word age, but Thomas in chat said it's called ages in that case.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe the word age is loosely based on history. I don't know, but he said something in the interview, but I skipped part of that bit because I really only cared about things to do with the sim.
Sure.
I hope this modding thing's two-phase. I hope in everything you've just told me is for like the paid integrated store, click a button and it works, no installation needed, we've got you, and it can be on hosted events. I'm hoping there's still the bit where they look the other way, where there's a folder in Windows, drag in what you want, but it won't be monetizable. It won't be easy to install because you have to do it all yourself. You have to maybe like go into the registry or whatever, deliberately make it annoying, but it's because then they can front the world and their sponsors like, yep, only hosted events and events like We Race can have licensed material. But, you know, if you're at home and you don't want to race your friends online and it's not in the store, then do what you want. If you want to make mods and make a Lamborghini Transformer, go for it.
Sure.
But it's not something we're looking... I hope. If it's not, then there's a massive market that they're just telling them to stay on AC.
Yeah.
Because it's a passion project for some people. I know people that are going through like engineering classes through uni and stuff, and they just use AC to chill and work on designs and like for fun. It's just their passion. They don't even drive the damn things. They just build them. So let's see, because that is bigger than we know because we're not involved. But yeah, I'm very excited about AC Evo. Obviously, let's see. We've talked about quite a few sims on this show, and I'd say...
What was the last successful one? Well, LMU. Halfway.
Well, it was the most successful of the ones we've talked about in the past. Well, since this show launched. We've had we've had so many just come and go, or Rennsport, where it feels like there's something because they're so passionate and social media with videos and social marketing that it almost convinced me every now and then I have to remember, oh, wait, no one's playing it.
Yeah.
You guys are just, I don't know, you're banging out awesome content. The best videos. We'll get to that. But yeah, I think this has to be a success. But my final point, they have to be brave. They have to take the mod in from AC. They have to do that point. Sure. And they have to take ACC head on. They need to treat it like, stop. He said in the interview, oh, we're not going to like AC and ACC videos. Still, no, you need to, like Apple's always business model has been, your biggest competitor is you. If you want to release a good iPad, you beat the phone. You want to be able to watch, you beat the phone. Like, you got to beat yourself. They have to take on ACC and bring over those competitive.
I mean, it's an odd sort of statement to have because, like, obviously with one of the things that Marco mentioned was about ACC, and obviously they're not going to be developing ACC anymore. Like, they've got the final build. One of the things, slightly off topic, that Marco was saying was that they are considering making a new build for ACC because the final one has been so unpopular that they are thinking of doing another one to try to make it better again.
Wow.
Because like the 1.9 or something update was highly unpopular.
Yeah, and then they slapped the word final on it, and everyone was like, wait, no.
So basically, if you're not happy, just complain about the state of the sim, and then they'll hopefully just keep doing final editions for several more years.
Yeah, look, they know how to make a sim last as long as iRacing. AC has out, it will be forever. But and they've always listened to their audience. Like, I've never, but they got to now grab us, the competitive one, a daily racing bunch. If they can do that, I think the sky's the limit. As long as they keep pushing and come up with a better monetization model than just, oh, here's a bunch of German tracks, and then they go quiet for a couple of months, and then they come back with. I don't think sustainable. Like,
Sure.
If they're not making good money, then I know they're not sitting there working hard on it. They're just waiting for licenses to pop up. They can grab, scan, implement, and sell. I don't want to be charged monthly, but if they're getting my money all the time, they're encouraged to keep me, and that's my 2 cents on it. That, you know what I mean?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Let's move on then to some of the hardware then at the Simracing Expo. And there's a lot to go through. I don't think we'll go through all the notes that I made notes on, but we'll get through some of it. First up, Fanatec with a few new products. 4 new products, in fact.
Well, this one feels like an old one. I swear they announced this like a year
What, the
ago.
Bentley?
Yeah.
Well, that finally in stock after 3 years since it got announced.
Okay. 3 years. Okay.
So this Bentley wheel is from the Pikes Peak Bentley Continental GT3 car from 3 years ago, when it tried to set the course record for the fastest like sustainable car or something. And it's continued to be delayed, and it's been at the Simracing Expo, I think, for the last 3 years. It's got a cool, is it gyroscopic?
The rotating screen, yeah. I've got it on, well, where's the... There you go. So, yeah, it's been around forever. My problem is it just looks a little bit like a toy.
Yes.
Like a... I don't know. I never sit in Bentleys much, so I don't have that Bentley-esque feel to it. But yeah, I said a year, but has it really been that long?
3 years. Well, 3 years since it got announced. At least 2 years since we first saw it. They delayed it last year due to issues with the digital display, and it's now being sold for €2,000. I doubt many people will buy this.
I mean, look,
2 years ago that would have been expensive, but understandable. Whereas now, actually, and we will move on to it a little bit later on, there's some very good wheels which are probably better than this for half the price.
And the rest, those buttons don't look expensive. Those top left and top right buttons, those button caps, like that top right blue one, which assumes your pit limiter, that just, I don't know, it looks 3D printed. I don't know. The LEDs... The colours, there's too many colours. We're past this era of multicoloured, aren't we? I get they can't do a lot because they have to match the Bentley, but no, I don't get these wheels.
So yeah, that is the first one. And then they also released, I think, a much better looking wheel, which was and this rolls off the tongue, the Fanatec CSL Elite Steering Wheel Porsche Vision Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
So really, really great naming that. And this looks pretty cool. This is, of course, so I believe Gran Turismo, of course, have their vision cars, which are like fantasy cars, which don't exist in real life. I think this is basically the wheel from that car. However, I think it looks pretty neat.
Where's the bottom of the wheel? It looks like a round wheel. Actually, do you want to know? If you flip that image upside down, it looks more closer to a wheel than that does, though. Like, it's almost a Formula Room if you turn it upside down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just, like, took off the top of it, then, yeah,
True.
It would basically just be a Formula Room. So, it is... Here are some images of it. I didn't do too much reading on this, to be honest. But it hasn't got a price. That's what I know. Has not got a price, but the final details will be locked in soon. That's from this Traction article.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
But yeah, it's not particularly interesting, I think. But I think it does look better than the Bentley one. Next up was the Club Sport V2 handbrake. Again, I didn't read too much into that, but I guess it's just an upgrade on the V1. The most interesting one, the one that I was interested in, was the Corsair Sim Rig.
So this was the announced before they actually finished buying Fanatec, right?
they certainly announced some products, didn't they, Corsa?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think you're right. I think it was a rig. And this is a steel tube rig, and at least from traction, they're saying it's extremely rigid, and that's what it's exactly designed for. It will not flex in the slightest.
Yeah, my problem with tube isn't flex, it's expandability. You can't just go grab a nut and bolt and add a Go XLR hold. Like, it's not as, with a 80/20 rig, you can just keep expanding.
Sure.
Whereas,
well, maybe that's the purpose of this, because there were mentions about how there is some fairly easy ways to include Elgato products. So like it's sort of there's sort of different like parts of the rig where you could quite easily attach Elgato stuff. So maybe that's the purpose. Maybe they've deliberately made it so that it's tough to customize like that. So that you need to use Elgato.
they can upsell.
But it's surprisingly, I mean, to be fair, we've got Trak Racer and Co who are doing some very cheap rigs. I was a little bit surprised. Well, I don't know, this is probably about accurate. But apparently it's going to be released later this year for somewhere under $1,000, which didn't seem too bad.
Sorry, Thomas in chat. People who bought this also bought duct tape. Yeah, that would be a cheaper way of attaching everything you need. We'll jump back to that story. Another wheel I saw that I was actually doing research on that you've mentioned was this. The Cube Controls Mercedes wheel, which obviously we've had before, but that was like a 1-to-1 GT4 replica. This is a bit more creative freedom from Cube with a Merc logo on. Still licensed, but doesn't have to match. Like, what was I saying last week? Like, let them come to us. Let Simracing be the mecca and let them follow us. I like this wheel. Has a solid... I like these solid, thin... These are the kind of wheels I like. The flat, solid, look utilitarian. Obviously, it's got LEDs, it's got rotaries, it's got the... I think it looks all right.
It's not really a GT or a Formula. It's sort of somewhere in the middle. I'd say it looks more like a Formula, if anything.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere in the
300 mil. I think it's a good idea. I say a bit more creative freedom, but it's going to be expensive.
Well, do you know how much it is?
No, but there's
do you
massive...
have a guess?
1,300.
Wow, good guess. 1,200.
Oh, okay.
1,200 euros, maybe.
But without a screen, though, you're really paying for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm surprised that wasn't cheaper. I feel like that's sort of the similar range to what we've seen their other rims like Mercedes, right? I'm surprised that one's not a bit cheaper. But yeah, you're actually...
I should have made it a Vauxhall version. Yeah, or a...
What, whack 500 quid off it. And...
Yeah, exactly. It would have been a steal. And then you can pull off the logo and put your own, mod it, sorry.
Yeah. Go up to someone's Merc, just whack off the the badge on it and stick it on your wheel.
All right, let's fly through some wheels. We've got a load. This one as well. It's stunning, but it... how can I don't want to be mean about it because it does look like, whoa, this is Asetek, but it looks it looks 18 months ago.
I guess so. It does look one of those Gomez wheels that
GSI and Solpec, and we've had so many companies do this about 18 months, 2 years ago. And don't get me wrong, it's good, but I don't know. Like, you're a little late on that trend. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it doesn't look like, and it does not look like an Assetto. If you used to make me guess,
no,
it would be way down the list. So I'm not sure. Like,
do you think the screen's a bit big? Because the screen sort of points up out of it. Oh, you think it's just the bezel?
Yeah, it's insane. Look at this.
Yeah.
All this dead area. The screen is just this little bit here. Then they've got the lights built in. But yeah, when it's off, you're right. If it's, where did I see it? There, look. So yeah, it feels... Well, you can actually see, look, the bezel actually. But yeah, it feels huge, so...
That is, of course, part of their top line of products. Invicta, that's what it's called. So so they've got the 3 different tiers of products to Asetek. Basically, they are introducing a 4th bottom tier as well. But yeah, this is the first wheel rim that they've created for their Invicta. So the best rim that you can get. But yeah, I'm not sure how popular it will be. It will be worth $1,300, which is quite a lot.
Okay, next one up. Hot takes on these now. This is ugly. And again, I assume this is copying an IRL. Yes, it's an IRL wheel. I mean, these are what I don't like it at all. Has no redeeming like.
Yeah, but you can be like Esteban Ocon from the Formula 1 2022 season, where they finished 4th in the Constructors' Championship, impressively beating McLaren.
For how much?
There has not a price yet.
Yeah, so it's $2,000. I've seen wheels like this before, like IndyCar replicas as well.
Oh that one was like $9,000, right? That was the Cosworth one.
Yeah,
that was phenomenal.
Not even that. Who was it? I met them at the Sim Expo a while ago.
There's also a Ferrari one as well, which was released by Fanatec, I think, a few years ago. This one is designed by Trak, which of course aren't necessarily known for their wheel rims. But they got an agreement with...
that was Trak Racer?
That was Trak Racer, yeah. I don't really know how they got that agreement, but yeah.
Money.
Well, I know, I sort of assumed, maybe there's like an Australian or something, like link somewhere, but I guess Jack Doohan's driving there next year. I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Quick look at this. We did show it last week, but we surmised what it would look like based on the IRL one, and it does look like a squashed, ugly, wide, ugly, my first 3D print.
I really don't like the display on that.
That's what you're worried about, the display. Oh my God.
Well, it looks like something from like Gran Turismo 4.
It looks like something from my childhood. Like, I don't know.
Everything's too big on it.
How are you meant to rotate those? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like all this IRL replica. Replicate IRL, sure, if it's something worth replicating. Don't just pick up a license and go, yeah, cool, what's the design? And they go, oh, it's really ugly, but we've paid a lot for this. Oh, well, we'll set $2,000 a wheel. Like, I don't understand the appeal. Right, let's get out of wheels. Pedals. I've heard really good things about these, but I know nothing about them. So you have to excuse me. But controls.
I don't know a whole lot about them, but they are, of course, they've already got load cell pedals on sale, have cube controls. These are sort of like an entry-level version of that. And they're also going to discontinue their hydraulic pedals as well, which sort of fits into this area. I think they are fairly similar to the pedals that they're already on sale. However, I was looking at it and I was like, oh yeah, these look pretty neat. And then I saw the price and they are €730 plus VAT, which is a lot for entry-level pedals. Yeah,
and I've tried throttles like this from Asetek. It was awful. There's no spring, nothing on that. I don't like that, personally. They're good looking, though. Damn. Like, where is everything?
Oh, yeah, I mean, so, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm more... I want to see... prices come down, not this constant pursuit where entry level is not £700. I want to see that.
Absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, there are many pedal companies which are producing similar pedals for half that. Well, yeah, 400, 500 quid. You know.
Plus, like I say, we're very at saturation point now. There's not an influx of new people coming into the sim racing world at the moment like there was. So you've got to be almost what Simacube are doing, selling something new, like. Convincing people that their technology is wrong and they should move, not just another £700 load cell. Perhaps I don't know the market well. Perhaps Cube are going to make £1 million, but...
Well, Trak Racer are also joining that foray as well. They have... I'm not sure if this was actually at the Simracing Expo. Apologies. I think this may just be an announcement. But they have their direct drive wheelbase. I think... Yeah, they've got the direct drive wheelbase with 30 Newton meters of force. Now, I'm not exactly sure what their model is, but from what I've seen from Traction is that they might be releasing the wheelbase, but then you have to pay extra in order to use all the Newton meters on it. So it becomes like more affordable by maybe only paying for 10 Newton meters, but you can then upgrade that without getting new hardware after you've made your initial purchase. They're also going to have...
Sure, that was Track Racer?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Everything you just said sounded like VRS to me.
No. VRS are doing this similar thing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Track Racer are also doing it, yeah.
What's 30? Like, nobody uses 25. You don't use 20.
Okay, so moving on from that.
Oh, okay.
So their load cell brake pedal has got 200 kilograms of weight, which is insane. Like, 200 kilos is probably 20 kilos more than pretty much anyone else is offering, but more than you need, absolutely. Like, you don't need more than about 150, you know? Like, 150 is like top range.
Yeah, when they're compared to IRL, they forget about G-forces and the fact these drivers are, what's the word, are physically fit.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't... Saying 30 Newton meters reminds me of when digital cameras were the boom, and everyone was just saying, 8 megapixel, 10 megapixel, 20 megapixel. Well, past 8, your print size is larger than a double-decker bus. Like, what are you selling me now? Like, I'm never going to use this. I mean, I've long thought 20 is too much. I've got a few. I've got the DD2, the VRS DD, the Leo Bodnar, and the Simi Cube. You don't use them to their maximum. No way. Like 15 if you're in a Porsche Cup in the rain. Because, like the car's light, rain's light, and you want every ounce of detail. But if you left that setting on for an LMP2 at Spa in the dry, it'll rip your arms off. I don't like this. I don't like software restrictions on... I don't like buying codes for hardware.
Sure. But... like
Joris is correct, yeah.
Yeah. Joris mentioning that VRS are doing the same thing. Yes. Well, maybe I can turn you on this, because Track Racer also said that they will have a custom case for the wheelbase with configurable LED strips.
Are you kidding? Oh my god. This is what we're going to get. They're trying to preempt Corsair, aren't they? They're like, oh my god, Corsair are about to put RGB on everything.
Sure, yeah, getting ahead of the curve.
Asetek did that. They actually told me about it when I was there. Like, this DD, this version has like these customizable lights. My only question is like, they can be turned off though, yeah? Because when I'm driving in the dark, with custom wall that I've designed to be quite dark, I don't want my base glowing on my screen.
Sure.
And he was like, yeah, it can be turned off. I was like, it lives behind the screen on most rigs. And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. Just checking it can be turned off. Oi. Let's see. It's weird to see Track Racer pursuing all this, because, back in my day, living in America, they sold rigs. They sold the aluminium,
and they're very, very good at it.
For sure, yeah. Some of my first purchases came from Track Racer. They're huge in America. Good stuff. So many manufacturers. Obviously, we've got all this news mostly from the Sim Expo and every other company trying to get in on the hype train by getting their announcement in as well. But talking of Sim Expos, we got some news that it will be heading to Austin, Texas. You know more about this than me.
Yes, it will be part of the South by Southwest festival, which I don't know much about, but it's a music festival, but also has loads of conventions and stuff on as well. It will be in March 2025 and hosted at Austin in Texas. It will be actually hosted at the Circuit of the Americas, I believe. So it's quite a big event. Live music. It's going to be open between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. on each of the days.
Party on.
And each year, the event gets 280,000 visitors, which didn't seem that much to me, honestly. I don't know how much, I'm hearing music.
Well, if you sell a
festival
wheel
here.
to all of them, you're
I mean, you're going to make.
a couple 100 million.
You're going to be safe. But I don't know, like, how much does Glastonbury get?
I have no idea.
I feel like Glastonbury gets like 1 million, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Maybe I should have searched this beforehand.
All the booths should offer free beer, and that'll help.
Sure. But one of the changes as well that they're going to make, and so we say changes, but this is going to be in addition to the event that already
This will be
happens.
March 2025, and the regular one will be October in Dortmund.
Exactly. This isn't going to be a sim racing expo, I believe. It's going to be called Sim.Expo. And the dropping off the racing means that there's potential for them to add farming simulator and flight simulator and stuff like that. So that's a much bigger event, which I think, considering the location, I think is a very smart move. I think sim racing, I mean, you're at the circuit of the Americas, but obviously not for the motor racing in that case. So you're not going to have that much people turn up for that. If you include flight sim, if you include these other things, well, then you could perhaps increase the attendance by 3-4 times higher.
Yeah, I mean, my retirement plan, when I'm old and I can't keep up on the racing scene, is just to, plough fields and look after my crop. And, I've got the rig, it'll be all converted and stuff. But it's my retirement plan. Big wheel, I'll still stream and everything, but, it's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Then I might get into the haulage and trucking and stuff, go across the country, yeah.
It's one of those things that if I tried, I'd get addicted to.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
for
can't.
sure. Because you'd be thinking about your crop all night.
Oh, yeah. Getting up at 6 in the morning and be like, gotta get on with it.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's good. It's good exposure. It's good for brands, good for sponsors. It's good for the whole scene. So, yeah, it's great. I couldn't have expected them sort of numbers in this sort of event, 4 or 5 years ago. So it's great to see.
Absolutely. I think that is Sim Racing Expo stuff done, isn't it?
Expo wise, I think we are good. Yep. I think up next is our friends Rennsport, I suppose.
Yes.
Have released a beta 1.11, which is worrying, right? 11 versions in 2 years, whatever. But yeah, let's get the video.
This is the overall.
That's a gorgeous trailer showing off day-night cycles. The new track,
Cresta Coras, which is set in the Alps. It is fictional. And this is a mod circuit. Now, when they say mod circuit, as far as I'm aware, it's still the Rennsport developers who create it.
Yeah, it used to be a mod in a different sim, yeah.
Yeah. But it's still like the design, I think, from like another company. I think Nuke Drop, at least I saw plastered. Hockenheim Day-Night Cycle, which I think looks really nice. I like the way that the floodlights work. You really see the patches of tarmac that they're, lighting up.
And here's the new Aston Martin before iRacing, which
we saw posted for about half an hour 2 months ago.
Yep.
And it's finally here.
I mean, the track looks gorgeous. Like, that's a straight and half.
So I really like the track. I have got a clip of the track from Overtake.gg's review. This isn't the full circuit, but it is colossal. And you can see the track map on the left. Podcast listeners can't.
Oh, wow.
But trust me, this is a long lap. This guy takes 4 minutes to complete the lap. Now, he makes a few mistakes. He had a spin or two. But, I mean, even a Kevin Ellis Jr. will struggle to get around here in less than 3.5 minutes. So it's a huge track and probably a lot of effort to create.
I can hear him practicing for a 320 now.
But yeah, it looks really cool. I have mentioned before how I like fictional circuits, and I think this is a very good one. I think this is a creative circuit. It's got a lot of elevation. It's got a couple of tunnels, a lot of off-camber and on-camber corners. It's about wide enough to drive or to race. Very long straights as well.
I like these corners, though, where you hop on the curbs. Yeah, looking good. Hopefully they'll make the ESL boys drive it.
That is a very good point. I would really like to see an esports competition on this circuit. I think that would be...
Yeah, they haven't even
cool.
done the Nordschleife yet, though, have they?
No.
Although Jerez, was it what track did they recently get? Jerez? No.
They got Jeddah.
Jeddah, that's it. That was all. I thought that was awesome. Crasher. We've tuned out now. We'll play a 30 seconds of the Aston video. They've put a lot of work into it.
Is it this one? Ah, yeah, I think it is.
I mean, their scans are looks like
so good, right?
Yeah, look at that. It feels like they cheated and just used the real car.
Yeah. I mean, even when you load into the sim as well, and you see the car on in the pit lane. Even that looks really, real good.
Yeah, and their trailers are just top notch. In-engine footage. Yeah, looks fantastic.
And I wasn't aware of this, but apparently this is the first time that this car is in any sim, I believe.
What the new... I'm not sure what version...
maybe just this year's one, because I guess ACC...
Yeah, ACC has an Aston,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but I think it might be a few years old. Whereas this won Spa 24 this year, I believe, this car.
Yeah, Iris and Aston don't seem to be on the best of terms. We're always waiting for an Aston, feels like. Yeah, stunning. Stunning. Now I want to drive it on my own in Rennsport. Okay, competition. AC Hyundai N Virtual Cup. Hyundai are very popular in the racing scene. Every track I went to IRL to watch a race, they were there with booths, handing out T-shirts.
They were at the Simracing Expo.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my wife's favourite hats is she got from this. It's like that nice blue they do in all their cars. It does look good, yeah. 20 grand for the final and 100 grand prize pool, isn't it?
Yeah, 100 grand prize pool. Yeah. 20
That's
grand
insane.
for the winner. It's a huge prize pool. There's really not many sim racing competitions out there which have higher. Maybe like ESLR1, F1 Esports, I guess, and Gran Turismo. But
Pesk.
yeah, not too many more than that. Even Pesk, does that have... Oh, that has... Is that 200?
250 grand, I think, prize pool.
So yeah, Pesk is bigger. But yeah, not too many of them. Now, I am not 100% sure on the format of this, but I did read a bit about it. Pre-Q is now active, and it runs till the 11th of November. That's just hot lapping, I believe. Then there are regional qualification rounds from the 20th of November to the 1st of December. Then there's regional semi-finals in December, and then whoever wins out of that. I think it's like I think it's 5 drivers from each region. The regions seem to be USA, Korea, China, and Europe, which are odd.
Have you seen when the final is and what it lines up with?
Well, it's on the 1st of January, the LAN is. I'm not aware of what that lines up with.
AC Evo.
Oh, yeah, it's the week before AC Evo.
We're thinking this final will be on AC Evo.
Yeah.
All that hot lapping and practicing, you change sim. Yeah?
You think? Not from what I saw.
With the Hyundai N Virtual Cup, we aim to enhance blah, blah, blah. Hold on, sorry. Where is it? Hyundai was also confirmed on the AC Evo car list. Where did I read it? I'm sure I read it on Traction.
From what I read of the Traction article, how I interpreted it was Season 2 might be on AC Evo if the series is renewed. But I'm fairly sure it's...
Where did I read it?
The grand final takes place just a few days before Assetto Corsa Evo's early access launch on the 16th of January.
Okay.
So,
maybe I read it wrong from another article.
It's a few days before, but it's still good promotion for them. And yeah, Hyundai will definitely be featuring in Assetto Corsa Evo. So yeah, it's pretty cool and pretty good send off as well for you know, high-end esports racing. But yeah, I mean, great to see Hyundai put that amount of money behind competition. Also, one of the elements of it is that they're going to be using several different Hyundais in the championship. Not exactly sure how that's going to work, but yeah, there's not just going to be one car.
Should we jump on a sim after this and just look a couple of laps, qualify and...
Yeah, see what we can do. We've only got the entirety of Europe to beat. I mean,
we'll move to a different country.
Those Chinese sim racers, you know, there's so many of them famously. They're in an absolute, as far as I'm aware, it's 5 Americans, 5 Koreans, 5 Chinese, and 5 Europeans.
Yeah, it's
So
time to move.
if you're in China, enter this because you could be getting some tickets to our LAN event.
Yep. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Let's move on to, well, that's pretty much sim racing news complete. Once again, this episode is presented by Apex Racing Academy, and do check out apexracingac.com in order to get some data packs for pretty much all the, there's so many cars in iRacing, covering prototypes and single-seaters and GT cars as well. And of course, we also have our free Mercedes GT4 data pack, which you can sign up for no cost at all for the remainder of this iRacing season over at apexracingac.com. Let's talk about Apex Racing Team. It's been a good week.
It has.
Because it was a very good Petit Le Mans. In the 99 GTD, we had Sanchez and Harth managing to win, Alejandro Sanchez and Johan Harth managing to win that category.
Not an easy races, top split.
No.
Petit.
Well,
Not that hard, no.
is it Redline who have won, or it was Redline or Williams have won almost pretty much every single GTD special event this season?
Yeah.
But we managed to get one. So congratulations to Alejandro and Johan. I think that's Alejandro's second win at Petit. Maybe even more than that. I feel like he won a couple of years ago. And yeah, Johan really enjoys Petit. He really likes the traffic element of it. And so I'm very pleased that he managed to win out on that one.
Yeah.
In LMP2, good results as well. I think we led for parts of the race, but we ended up second and third in LMP2. We only had 2 cars as well, which makes it even more impressive. We had Vasquez with Civi Sabo, and we also had Stanley Deslandes with Danamore and Gordy Much as well. And yeah, they managed to get second and third in LMP2, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, that's great. We'd see Aaron in an LMP2, but I saw him midweek racing. I wondered what was going on, and now I know why.
Yeah. Yeah, he certainly jumped into it well, and yeah, it's great to see Daniel Civi Sabo as well. I remember back when he was 3K, 2.5K in Apex Racing League GT Trophy. Got involved in quite a few incidents, I think, did Danny back in those days, but he's improved a lot as a driver, and he's now one of the most competitive prototype drivers out there. So congratulations to him for getting that podium. Was not a good time in IndyCar. It was at Indianapolis Oval, and I had a chat with Pete Bateman about it, and everyone crashed bar Danamore.
Where was it?
In Indianapolis.
What, the
Oval.
road?
The Oval.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good luck for Luke and Pete, honestly. Luke, I think, crashed on pit entry, and Pete just got caught up in an incident, I think, with 20 minutes to go. I think they felt quite confident about their pace, but I think that's now 3 races that Luke and Pete have done at Indy, because they did the special event, they did the qualifier round for this, and now they've done this. And I think they're both, and they did the fixed one actually at Indy as well. So I think they've done 4, and I don't think they've finished any of them.
One they were leading, right? The fixed, was it?
I think both of the special event ones, they were near the front. And yeah.
Yeah.
So really frustrating time, because I mean Luke in particular, I mean he was leading back at one of the previous oval rounds, and he ran out of fuel with 5 to go. So they're learning the hard way the knife edge, which is oval racing, where it can so easily fall into your lap, and it can so easily go away from you.
Yeah, 100%. Hello to Steve in chat.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Media Highways tonight. A really good car track combo. High tire degradation. Will still be a one-stop, I believe. Will be tricky to overtake. But hopefully we can break the Redline dominance, because I think Redline have been very, very good on the road courses so far.
Yeah, be exciting watch. I love the road track races.
And I think that means that we can move on to Apex Racing TV. A couple of good clips on this. This first one is phenomenal.
Even if there may not be a lot of
Is this SFL? Or is this F4?
I think it's F4. Here we go. And that driver smacked the bridge.
What, actually hit
they hit the bridge. They didn't go through the bridge. Now, I've seen drivers go through the bridge at Sebring, but I've never seen a driver hit the bridge. But that is what happened. It was a phenomenal crash. He absolutely clobbers it.
Yeah, never seen that before
Absolutely
either.
clobbers it. There was a clip that was shared of a Mick Jagger movie from 1992. I can't remember what it's called. Of basically that exact scene happening in a movie, and they managed to recreate it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Thomas Hansen saying that was Matt Malone. Was it Matt Malone? I don't think it was Matt Malone, was it? There is another Malone in that series. Yeah, I think it's a different Malone. But I think maybe it was. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there is another clip as well that we have got, and it is of this crash at Interlagos.
Ooh.
Which is always a bit of a scary sight.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go if someone spins.
But they get through the first two parts fine.
What race is this? Is the Recmotech one?
This is Evolution Simracing GT3.
Oh, he's going the wrong way, mate.
It never gets that bad, but it just keeps getting worse. Just absolute chaos at turn 3.
Yeah, not some smart driving there.
And yeah, quite a few casualties, unfortunately, on that occasion. We also posted, I think since the last episode, we posted 2 months worth of Apex Racing TV compilation videos. The second one in particular, the September one, I thought was very good. So do check that out on the Apex Racing TV YouTube channel for the August and September ARTV compilations of the overtake and crashes videos over on the channel. That is everything that we made notes about.
Yep, roll on AC Evo. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's are you a little bit disappointed by the lack of tracks and cars? It's going to be 20 cars when it releases 5 tracks. Were you hoping for a little bit more than that?
I didn't know that. Do we know what 5 tracks they are?
Bathurst, I think, is one of them.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the others. In the trailers, of course, they've shown quite a few, right?
Yeah,
they showed a couple of like club level.
Nordschleife, I assume. They keep showing the outside and interior of it. So I assume,
yeah, I guess. I think Vallelunga as well, maybe. There's a couple of like smaller Italian circuits.
You'd think with their licenses and everything, it's just a simple case of just getting the scan up to date. I mean, they have licenses for everything.
For like the ACC tracks that they've added recently, can they not just... But I guess it's a different engine as well.
It is a different engine.
So
and it probably is technically for that a different license because it was the whole black pain. I don't know, like you...
Sure, yeah.
Can you just be like, oh, we're going to shove it in a different game. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. That's not great news, but I just want to see a focus on how focused they are on the competitive side. Because if it starts quiet and dead, it's very difficult to get that engine going, as we've seen with Rennsport. They can tweet as much as they want, but how do you get that fire going? Now, too many tracks and too many cars, you know, the iRacing effect, where you have dilution and it almost feels like it's empty and no one's racing, but it's just everyone's racing somewhere. So let's see.
I mean, is it going to be I mean, you mentioned that it's difficult to get the engine running after release, but like I feel like this is going to be almost like a year where it's going to take before it becomes like a... I mean, obviously this is an early access build as well coming out in January.
I hate that word.
Like it's not a full release, so it might be another year until it actually gets a full release.
Yeah, because I'm not expecting all the daily racing to even be there on launch, to be honest. None of the multiplayer stuff. My vision is I wake up in the morning, get ready to stream, I jump in AC Evo, I have to drive to the racetrack. You know, it's about hour and a half drive.
Sure, yeah.
I drive through traffic.
I mean, well, one of the elements that they mentioned was the career mode. How they really want to go all in with the career mode. They mentioned that they want to pursue a lot of different things. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, that stuff would be phenomenal, right?
Yeah,
imagine driving from circuit to circuit.
Yeah, if you got another race over, the other
like
side.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
You've got one race at Barcelona, one race at Monza.
Yeah, and you have to drive.
And you've got to drive through the south.
I want to make the 4 o'clock race.
Yeah.
Stuck in traffic. Yeah, mate, it's the dream. If I could blend that and competitive racing, I'm set, mate. Absolutely set.
Yeah.
You stopped by the police, you're like, mate, I've got a race to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Do a bit of speeding, police come after you. That, yeah, helicopters and...
Well, imagine having, you could have like, if you had like say enough drivers on it, you could have like an open world thing where all the traffic is real people. I'm talking like a VAT sim type thing where people are actually like interacting online.
Oh yeah, VAT sim, yeah.
It'd be awesome. But yeah, we'll see how it comes out. So that is everything from us. Once again, thanks to Apex Racing Academy for sponsoring this episode. Check them out at apexracingac.com. But for now, for myself and David, we'll say goodbye for now. We'll see you back for prototypes on Apex Racing TV later on. See you then.